So in today's video, I will take you through how you can set up a MOODY light setup for yourself to take self-portraits or portraits of other people. For this setup, I'm using both continuous light and flashlights, but you don't need to have all these lights. Actually, you just need to have one light to take these kind of photos. The extra lights are just extras that will give my photo another dimension, and actually in a technical way you can add this in post, what I'm doing with these other lights. That being said, you need at least one kind of light source, being a flash or continuous light or a lamp, but you need one kind of light, and I would recommend you to get a flash because I think you will get the best result using a flash, and it is also the easiest way to do this. Then you need some kind of modifier to make the light from the flash or your light source a bit more clean and smooth on your face, so the light won't be that harsh on you. Actually could be using like a bed sheet or something wide, but where the light can shine through. Could be used as a modifier, but again, you could also just buy a cheap dome like I have. These don't cost that much and they are really useful, so I would recommend you buying one of those. You can find a link in the description of one of those I have, which are pretty cheap. So here in the video I will show you the 3 different lighting setups that you get by using 1, 2 and 3 lights. So stay put and you can see the result in the end, and consider for yourself if you would like to do this with 1, 2, 3 or even more lights. So as always, I'm a bit challenged here in my small office by the space and also my laziness. So I will try to set this up the fastest and easiest way without moving too much stuff. So I put the main light here on a C-stand and I just pointed it like straight into the room. This is not really the best way. I should have moved this in front of me so I had more room to move it around and wrap the light around my face, but yeah, being lazy is not always the best for you. Basically what you want is the light source to be angled in front of you. So you want it to be facing you in an angle like 45 degrees. That is what the most photographers are calling this. But yeah, basically you want it to be like in the left corner, pointing towards the right corner, and this will give you light on this side of the face and will darken the other side of your face. You can move the light around and it will then light up more of the darker side of your face, and this is something you can experience with and see what works the best for you. Also, if you want a really dark and moody portrait, you can put the light like more on the side of you. This way you will be really dark over on this side and yeah, light on the other side here. Again, this is something you can practice and experience with. It's actually quite fun to test these things and see how the light wraps around your face and how you get different looks and feelings in your photos. Also, you want the lights to be on top of you, facing down, just like the sun would do if you were outside. And this will make the light look a bit more natural, I think. Sometimes you might be getting shadows under the eyes, under the nose, and if you want to do something about this, you could have some sort of filler underneath your subject to bounce the light up into the face, but this is again optional. So you need to place the subject at least a meter away from the background, I think, because you want to separate the subject from the background, and also you don't want the light from your lights to flash onto the background. So yeah, keep some separation. And also if you ever take portraits with a white background or a colorful background, you don't want any shadows from the subject casting upon the background as well. So yeah, remember to keep some distance between the subject and the background. So behind me I have this cheap, small, continuous light. It's a Yongnuo light that I've put down behind me, and I point it towards the backdrop to shoot some light up. This is again to create some spot behind me that will separate me and the background a bit more, so I stand out and you create some dimension in the photo. This is totally optional and can be done in Photoshop as well if you have the time and the skills. The last light I have is over here behind me to the right, and this is also a very cheap flash from Yongnuo that actually does not even work with my Sony camera because I bought it a long time ago for Nikon. But what I've done is that I set the flash mode to slave, which means that when the main flash fires, the infrared sensor on the Yongnuo cheap flash will recognize there's a flash being fired, and then it will also fire the flash. So this way you can keep using an older flash that you don't use anymore, or where you might not have a trigger to fire the flash, as I don't have. Again, I will place the flash here behind me on the right, so the light from the flash will shine through and light my face in this area, and also add some light to the behind of me that again will help separate me from the background and make the photo look more 3D or give the photo a bit more depth. This can potentially also be done in Photoshop. Again, you will need the time and the skills to do this, but it's not impossible if you don't have all these lights. So when you use continuous light with flash, what I do to make this work is that I expose for the continuous light. So what I do is I set the light from the Yongnuo light spotlight behind me onto the background, and I set this the way I want so it lights up the background. Then I go into my camera and I expose for this setup. I want the photo to look great without me in it, but with the spotlight on, and then I don't touch these settings anymore. Then what I do to adjust the light upon me is working with the flashes. So what I do is that I continue to take photos and see if it looks good. Is it overexposed or underexposed? And then I put some more light on the flash, or less light if it is overexposed. And that is just the way that I find you can do this if you want to use continuous light and flash as well. So for this shot I'm using a higher f-stop. I'm using the f-stop 8. And this is because, first of all, I want more of my face to be in focus. I don't want my ear and back of my face to be blurry. And also this is to give me a bit of a handicap, if you can say so, that if I'm moving or if I'm not like totally in the focus spot from the camera, then there's a bigger chance that my face will not be blurry and unsharp, because yeah, it's making more of the photo sharp. And also when firing flash, you have a lot of light, so this won't be really an issue. Your flash can totally output enough light to light the subject and also have a higher f-stop. So to take the pictures, what I did was I used the app from Sony called Sony Imagine Edge, I think. I connected it to my camera and I used this as a remote. And I actually used a trigger timer as well. Like I set the timer to be like 2 seconds, so I had the time to push the button and then pose. If you are going to do self-portraits like this a lot, I would recommend you to buy a trigger, like a remote trigger that you can have in your hand and trigger, because I don't think that the Sony app works that well. I don't know how Canon and Nikon are doing this, but at least for Sony I don't think the connection between the camera and the app is that great. So yeah, it would be a lot easier to have a remote, because this will fire many more times and it won't lose your connection like my phone did many times. So for focus I just used autofocus. As you may know, Sony has a really good eye detection or face detection, so I totally relied on this to keep my face in focus, and using the high f-stop it worked almost every time, which is really great. But if you don't have these kind of autofocus, or if you don't want to rely on autofocus, you could put another subject in the place where you are going to be and then focus on that, and put your camera in manual mode on manual focus, and then it will keep the focus there, and then you can like position yourself again in the spot and you will be in focus every time. But this is of course totally up to you how you want to do this. Now all that's left to do is try to be a model and do some nice poses and get some really great portraits of yourself. Enjoy! So for some of these photos I actually changed the background, because my backdrop was really dirty and not looking great when I hit the white spotlight up upon it. So as I mentioned, you can change the background if you want to. I did this for some of the photos, and for some of the other photos, what I did was that I just blurred out the parts that weren't looking that great. This is also where you can like cheat if you have a not so nice background as I do behind me here, because this is just like cotton or something which is white on the background and the white kind of shines through, so when you put the light upon it, it will not be totally clean, which I of course didn't think about, but I noticed it when I had taken the photos. But the good thing is that you can change this in posts, so yeah, that's what I did for some of the photos. I promised you I will show you how these photos will look if you only have 1 and 2 lights, and I've taken these 3 photos here that you can compare with, see what the difference is and what you like the most. For me, I think all these kind of photos are working, just a matter of what you want to shoot and how you want it to look, but this is always totally up to you, so you decide what you want to do. This was my way of showing you how you can take these moody portraits by yourself at home of yourself and also of others if you want to do that. I hope you learned something from this video and my process of doing this and showing you how you can do it, or perhaps you got a bit inspired to go out and take these kind of photos for yourself. Anyway, I will go out and make some coffee now because I'm getting really thirsty. So take care, my friends, and I will see you around. Boy. So as always, remember to subscribe, hit that like button, and leave a comment. It really helps a lot to make this channel even bigger. Thank you, man.